All right, good Friday morning to everybody. And I just looked out the window, thought I saw a damn dog running through there. Anyway, Friday morning, and here we are. We've got the YF 102, and yesterday we put the flush patches in. We got rid of the humps. We got rid of the humps here and put the flush patches in. So those of you that got to see that reconstruction going on there really got a treat. Now we're nice and cylindrical, and today we're going to take these flush patches and we're going to sand them down and smooth them all in. And as you'll notice, on each side I've got a little gap here and a little gap there, of which when I'm ready to pull the halves apart again, I will put me a doubler in behind it and strengthen that area up. And then we will take some plastic dust and some glue and we'll fill those and let those cure instead of just filling them with Bondo. You know, that's kind of what you're doing is filling gaps with Bondo. And I'm not a big fan of filling with Bondo. The least amount you can use, the better. So what I take with bigger gaps like this is, hello everybody, Hacky, been a long time. So what I do with bigger, wider gaps is I tend to use my sanding dust from the plastic, and I mix it with some glue, tube glue, and then I will put it in there instead of just something else, and then fill it with Bondo, you know, because that will help strengthen that joint. And strength is what we need back here. It's already pretty darn good, you know. I mean, I took all the tape off of it except for down the middle there, which I want to stay off that area anyway. So without any further ado, like I told you yesterday, this is going to be another grab your popcorn and a beverage and pull up and enjoy, you know. I like to cut little strips. I'm starting off with 150 first. 150. Dry sandpaper. And I usually cut me a couple little strips. And you say 150, that's pretty harsh. Well, we're going to work our way down, and we're not going to, you know, sand away a bunch of material. I just want to get this knocked off, in other words. And what I like to do at first is go against the seam here. In other words, this is with the seam, this is going against it. Knock off all the rough stuff. Now, I guess you can kind of consider this, and I have another video that I've made purposely for sanding and filling 101. You can find it in a featured section somewhere. You'll have to do some digging because it's quite a long time ago. You'll really have to dig. But anyway, just kind of consider this maybe for those of you guys that are still learning and what have you, and I'll even work in a little circular motion. Now, like I said, I don't want to take a whole bunch of material off with this stuff, just enough to get it down to where my other sandpapers will do that for me without digging big scratches and holes. Now, I did want to mention the fact that as this plastic comes back, or the cone, it gets thinner on the end. Okay, it gradually gets thinner. And you'll notice that little step from my 40 thousandths patch is all the way down in here in the front, but got a little ridge on the back, and that's because the plastic is different thicknesses. And that's what I'm attempting to do, is flush some of that out a little bit and go from there. Like I said, I don't want to take a whole lot off, just a little at a time. Kind of feel it there. That's good for that. Now I want to turn this away. And let me turn you guys down here where you can see the work. You don't need to see my pretty face. I'm kidding. Wife says I was pretty back in the day. Matter of fact, she still thinks I'm pretty. Okay, maybe not pretty, but whatever. Let's not make this about me. Let's just go ahead and you'll also notice a little bit of an indentation right here where I need to fill right through here. But that's all good. That's all good. What we want to do is just get the high places down first. We want to knock all that down. And sanding and filling, if you're doing it right, you know, it's probably going to take a little while, you know. But it don't have to. Don't have to if you guys, you know, have been actually doing this a while. And I am actually trying to keep this in your view, although I've got to see it too, so pardon me if I get out of your view. Oh, who's that on Looney Tunes? Anybody know? Oh, I am going to blow up the dam. I'm going to blow up the dam. I'll build my own dam. Come on, you Looney Tune guys, you older guys, you know who that is. You're getting on my nerves, Rabbit. Anybody know? Come on. Okay. Hello, Tony, Andrew. I can't see the rest of you down there. Timothy, are you there? I thought I saw your name. Anyway, and every now and then I'll look down this thing and kind of feel. Now that didn't sound right, did it? You know what I'm doing. All right. No smart butts. Look down this thing and feel. Come on now. Be good to me. Be good, be good. Now, on flat surfaces, I'll actually have little blocks that I use, sanding blocks. Little tiny sanding blocks that I wrap my paper around. That works out pretty good. Now, if you notice, I've got a couple of doomajiggies sticking out right here. I don't want to rub my sandpaper up against those. Am I worried about the panel lines and stuff around here? No, absolutely not. I'm covering it in metal. I'll be making my own. Excuse me. So we're starting off with 150. That's going to take it down the quickest. I don't want to use anything coarser than that. We don't want anything deeply grooved. The deeper the grooves you put in plastic, the harder they are to get out. Okay, now we got to take some of this down. And so far, I think this thing has really turned out nicely, this conversion. I was really worried about it because of the way that the tail geometry and all that was set up, to where, I mean, I really had to think it through. How am I going to keep the structural integrity of the tail while I do all this? And I got to turn it this way a second. Let's go a little more. And it took a little thinking. I actually referred back to my days in the Army when I was working on aircraft, and was actually doing a lot of strut when I was in the airframe department. By the way, I ended up doing all 7 departments in the hangar, so, and eventually becoming the boss. Now, and that kind of helped me kind of think this through. Now, I know a lot of you guys have zero experience in any kind of aircraft strut at all. And that's fine. That's fine. These are what these videos are here to help you with all of that. Now, I need to look down this real quick. Okay, so I'm getting pretty close to where I want to be there. And I don't think I want to go any further there. So we're going to come, let's see if I can show you that seam there, right here. Kind of see how that's blended now, instead of like this. See, that's blended now. Now, we're going to move to the top part. And I'm just going to, okay, that corner right there has got to come down. And I'm not going to keep you guys in over an hour like I did yesterday. Make a big, long, drawn out thing of this. But I thought yesterday really had to, you know, for you guys to see what was going on, to do that. So I pardon my length of the video yesterday, but hey, some of you enjoy it, some of you don't like sitting there that long watching one video, but you know, patience is everything, especially